It's powerful, foldable, reliable, and now finally better looking than ever. Here's the new Kugoo S1 Plus electric scooter with worry-free tires and dual suspension for a lot less money than you expect. Hey, welcome Tech for Our channel. My name is Michael, and totally, this scooter looks and feels great. There's nothing unusual about its design or capabilities, but what makes it special is the really competitive price. It's launched at $350. This makes it one of the most affordable and good setups for its price range. You can see that it also looks great and riding is pretty fun. The S1 Plus by Kugoo is something like a third generation of the S1 scooter series. I've reviewed the original S1 almost 2 years ago, then in late 2020 we have seen the S1 Pro, and now the Plus. Yes, if there's anything left from the portfolio to be seen, it might be for the Colt Ultra. The S1 Plus has a pretty tough job to accomplish, having to compete with the mighty Mi Scooter, and now already the Mi Scooter 1S, but with the revamped design and addressing most of the issues it used to have, and also the suspension, which is now even better, well, it is definitely interesting. Let's switch to the unboxing part. I wanted to give you the taste of riding the scooter in advance, and given the season here, it was quite challenging to find days with good weather and more sunshine. Although it may look otherwise on the video, it was pretty cold day here. The box weighs exactly 15.5 kilos, the scooter itself is only 12.5 and it arrives pre-assembled. There's absolutely nothing you have to do before riding, except perhaps charging the battery to full. Main reason for this cool bonus is the fact that it's foldable in any way you can think of. There's the main folding mechanism, the adjustable front tube height, and also these folding handles. In fact, from all the electric scooters I've tested so far, the Kugoo S1 Plus is the most compact and one of the lightest, weighs a little less than the Mi Scooter and only around 1.5 kilos more than the Unagi Model 1. Time to get to know the specs. Brushless 350-watt motor, it's in the front wheel, 30 km/h maximum speed, 25 km maximum range, 8-inch solid anti-skid tires, front and rear suspension, advanced folding mechanism, a clear LCD display, electronic brake, adjustable height of the handlebars, so spec-wise, it's really good. If all of that works according to the expectation, the Kugoo S1 Plus might be one of the best choices for a $350 electric scooter. Since you may not be familiar with what most of these specs mean, let me highlight the most important components one by one. The motor first. 350 watts is great, it's a brushless motor and should be compliant with most EU regulation standards. Also, it has CE certification. Perhaps Kugoo will release a device with lower speed limits to be compliant with regulations in some European countries too, just like Germany, where the top speed for electric scooters should not be higher than 20 km/h. In terms of performance, the motor is doing well. They say up to 15-degree inclines can be handled, and I find the power to be identical with the other S1 devices that I've tested before. A little more powerful than the Mi Scooter, and a big advantage is the fact it doesn't need a kickstart. You can accelerate from a still point. The battery included is a 270 Wh pack and promises range up to 25 kilometers. According to the manual, this is achievable by a person that weighs 55 kilos and is traveling straight on a flat surface and uses the brake no more than just 3 times. It's quite an unrealistic expectation, of course, therefore the actual mileage is much shorter for a person like me apparently. Unfortunately, I can't give you reliable feedback about the range because I've been riding it on days with temperatures below 5 degrees, which severely degrades the battery performance. I guess with my weight of around 85 kilos, it's going to be something like 13 to 15 kilometers at the maximum speed setting, and a little more if I'm riding it at the second gear. My personal favorite feature are the tires. They're labeled as honeycomb tires, although I've seen better honeycomb tires than that. Traditionally, if the weather is warmer, the tires will feel softer, but even like that, in the winter the experience was good and tires give a lot nicer feeling than other S1 models, and even on slippery surfaces they behaved rather well. Together with the suspension enhancements, the riding comfort was good, I'd say as good as pneumatic tires, and luckily Kugoo have eliminated most of the terrible jingling while in motion, so I enjoyed riding a lot. The braking system is also upgraded. The scooter now relies on electronic braking, so while you're braking, it stresses the front wheel mostly because the motor is inside. There's a backup rear mechanical brake, something like an emergency brake that you should be careful while using. In terms of body positioning and ergonomics, the deck is definitely not wider, but now covered by rubber. Kugoo no longer uses the sandstone texture from the previous generations. At the front side, there's the folding mechanism, which from all the Kugoo models I've seen so far, is the best one in my opinion. No need for special position to be taken before folding, just push that lever to the top in order to release it, and there we go. So easy and reliable. The construction seems to be solid. I'll definitely test it further. Next, exploring the tube. There are 3 grades of height. It can extend up to 106 centimeters, and that was the biggest concern from my point of view. I'm 188 centimeters high. It felt like my waist center was not well distributed and balanced. I guess if you're higher than 117 centimeters, there are better choices for electric scooters. Because if your back position is not right, like in my case, given the vibrations during riding, it may have negative impact on your back. And now we reach the top area of the scooter where we can see the foldable handlebars. Unlike the older models, you tighten these and they become static. The lever's function is clear. Left is for braking, right is for acceleration. The display has a lot less functions than the previous models, but luckily that's enough. Real-time speed, battery level, mileage, an indication about the front light. Much smaller than what it used to be. That's a good thing. I only wish the buttons were clickier. Before we wrap up the video, here are the drawbacks that I discovered. The major one, as mentioned, is the height. There is no Bluetooth, therefore no smartphone app support, no cruise control, lack of configuration options through the display, and while the folding mechanism is now really great, it needs grease, so you should be careful not to get some on your fingers while folding. But think about it. Tires that will never get flat, no need for constantly checking the air pressure, front and rear suspension which is quite responsive, lightweight and perfectly foldable. The Kugoo S1 Plus is by far the most suitable choice for those of you that are looking to cover ranges up to 15 kilometers and need to have a scooter that is easy to carry and doesn't need maintenance besides charging. All of that is packed within $350, and perhaps price will only get better in time. So if you want to get yours, head over to the description and get it at a special price. Special thanks to Geekboing for giving me this test unit for the sake of the review, no strings attached. And hopefully you've learned something new or got the information that you were looking for. If there's a question you want to ask or thought you want to share, there's the comment section below and I'll be happy to keep in touch there. Thank you so much for watching this episode here on the Tech4Road channel. Subscribe for more, hit the like if you enjoyed, and I, Michael, gonna see you in the next episode. Bye!